Manhattanville in the, looks like the maroon and black uniforms. Castleton in the green and white. We're at Dave Walk Stadium at Castleton University, rugby action. And I'm Jack Healy with Jackson Addy, who is our producer and our camera person. 7-on-7 rugby. Castleton going right to left here in the first half in game number 1. Manhattanville going left to right. Manhattanville out of Rye, New York. Number 12, Hannah Kupis, is a senior from Northville, New York. One of the 4 seniors to be honored here. We were already honored a year before the game. Sibisek on the boot as Castleton boots to Manhattanville. And you can boot the ball forward in rugby. You can also, of course, you cannot, however, pass forward. You have to pass backwards. Number 41 is Davidson for Castleton, far side. And, of course, you can lift to a player. That's a lift right there. A little scrum going on, and Spartans trying to get it toward the goal line here. And it appears that they did get the try for 5 points, and Castleton leads 5-zip. And here is the conversion, which is from the same angle as the try. 33, Haley Conway scoring on the try. That was Conway on the conversion attempt, which was no good. It's 5-0 Castleton. Little scrum toward the goal line, and it was Conway that took it in. Number 33, she's from Florence, Vermont. So here's the boot again to Manhattanville. Manhattanville trying to advance here. Again, you can boot it forward. That's done for Castleton. Has space near side. Done. Finally brought down at the 12. This is Kupis, and Kupis takes it in for the try. And it's 10-0 Castleton. We mentioned Kupis has been doing a lot of damage lately, scoring 7 tries in her last 2 games. That's her 8th try. And the conversion attempt, again, no good. That was Conway. But Kupis on the try. 10-0 Spartans. With Conway and Kupis scoring tries. Both times the conversion no good by Conway. And the conversion from where the try was scored. 4:37 left first half. Here in game number one, matchup number one. And again, the boot to Manhattanville. Number 7 is Nicole Elaperti for the Valiants. Here are the Spartans the other way, and they blow the whistle as picking it up there was Tetlow for Castleton. Castleton in the green and white. This is a scrum to restart play here. St. Andrews for Castleton brought down. Battle there, and here comes Manhattanville back the other way. Before she went to the turf, that was number 14, Molito. Number 41 for the Spartans is Davidson. See, there's a lift here. There will be. Now for Manhattanville, that is Molito. Nothing Castleton here, first half of match number one with 2:10 left in the half. Manhattanville looks to advance. Awfully close to getting the try there before brought down was Molito. Battle there. And 12 left in the half. Restart scrum. Here's an opportunity as Spartans have space. And going the length of the pitch will be Kupis. She goes the length. Kupis, another try. And Castleton takes a 15-0 lead with 22.2 seconds left here in the first half of play. 15-0 Castleton. Here's the conversion attempt. And it is good. This time that from Haley Conway. 17-0 Spartans. So Conway with a try, Kupis with 2. And Conway also with a conversion. "20 seconds left here in the first half of what is the first match. Manhattanville going left to right and brought down. That should do the first half here. Well, they continue on. The time might not be official, I guess. It shows no time, but possession for Castleton. Pamela McCullough, number 6 for Spartans. There's the lift. I'm a little confused on the time situation here. That's put it ahead for Manhattanville because it shows no time. A lot of times at the field here adjacent, they don't really have the clock, or at least they don't keep it on the field. They keep it on the field. And here's the lift. Manhattanville with possession. Along the far side is Manhattanville trying to retain possession. For a moment there, it was Tetlow that grabbed it for Castleton, number 7. And there is an injury. And the kick forward for Manhattanville. You have to check on the time situation here. I'm a little bit confused here with the time showing 0 across the way. As I said before, unless it's completely unofficial. Manhattanville with possession. And there will be a lift here. Number 7, Ella Purdy. Lifted. And it's off her. Controlled by Castleton. And on the turf here. And that's booted away upfield by Tetlow for Castleton. Break. Certainly the time on the clock here is unofficial. It's kept on the field. That's why we kept on playing. Also, if the time runs out during the course of a play, they continue until the ball goes out of bounds. And here, racing near side. Here again is Hannah Kupis. There she goes. Kupis Another try, and the Spartans here early second half go up 22-0. Kupis, we mentioned our opening statements, our opening comments, 7 tries last 2 games, 3 tries in this game. And here is the conversion attempt, and that is good for Kupis. And the conversion, Kupis, after picking up the try, after the try, Spartans went up 22-0, and now with the conversion, it's now 24-0. A minute into the second half of set number 1 here at Dave Walk Stadium at Castleton University. Manhattanville going right to left, Castleton left to right. So 3 tries for Kupis, a try for Conway. Kupis also with a conversion, and Conway also with a conversion as Manhattanville has possession. Possession there for Manhattanville was Melito. Scrum for possession here. Castleton in the green and the maroon and black, it looks like, for Manhattanville. And it is controlled by the Spartans as very close, and breaking possible stoppage there was Aubrey Tetlow, and she takes it in. Tetlow on the try for Castleton. And Castleton now goes up by a score of 29-0. Tetlow on the try. Of course, the conversion has to come from the same part of where the try was made, getting across the goal line. Madison Reynolds, there's a tough angle from the near side. Reynolds on the conversion attempt for Castleton. And I guess you don't get a mulligan on that. So Tetlow on the try for Castleton, and the try for the conversion no good. Or the attempt for the conversion, not to be confused with a try. And Castleton has a 29-0 lead with 3:40 left here in the second half of the first match. Or the first set. Reynolds brought down. Reynolds with possession for Castleton. And you can boot it forward again. You can kick forward, but you have to pass backward. Melito will wait for the lift here as Melito looks to put the ball into play from the near sideline. 2:50 to go here in the second half. Again, that's unofficial time. Here's the lift and the possession to the Valiants. Pass back initially to Melito. Manhattanville still controlling. Carrier brought down, and Melito gets it back. Melito sending it back to number 26. That's Spence. Far side. Spence hauled down about 5 meters out. And they get the try. Well, they did not get in. Spartans possession on the other side, and now Manhattanville getting it back. It'll be Castleton. Conway's okay, number 33. She's back in the game, which is good news, and back in the matchup. Castleton. Now the battle, the scrum. Castleton with possession. Here's Kupis again, and Kupis off to the races. And she will not be caught. Another try for Kupis. And Castleton goes up 34-0. And this is Conway. This will be straight on with the try, with the conversion, I should say. And it hit the crossbar. So the conversion attempt no good. Final 10 seconds into the second half here. But, again, more time undoubtedly on the clock as that's unofficial. Kupis has 4 tries in this. Conway with 1 and Tentlow with 1. And a couple of conversions making it 34. The 6 tries coming out to 30. And Manhattanville trying to get on the board here late in the second half of the first set. Kick forward a couple of yards. And that is the end of the first set, and Castleton wins it 34-0. And goes up 1-0. And '41 is Davidson. Near the far sideline. A little bit of space for Castleton here. And again, speed and space. And going all the way across the goal line for the try for Castleton is Aubrey Tentlow out of Williamstown, Massachusetts, a junior. And Castleton goes up in game 2, 5-0. And the conversion attempt is no good. The conversion attempt was Kupis. So Tentlow on the try, and it's 5-0. The conversion attempt no good. We have 5:30 left here in the first half unofficially. This is the official time on the field. And here's the kickoff for Castleton. Kupis picks this up and looks for space about 30 yards out. Brought to the turf. And the possession will be Manhattanville, the Valiants, and it will be booted forward. And it goes out of bounds. But it will be the throw-in for Melito. Melito's out of Whitman, Mass., a senior, Casey Melito, and player will be lifted here. This is 7-on-7. We've seen one player lifted. We talked about on the other games. And in space now, and taking it in for the try. The Spartans pick up another try here. That's Olivia Day. And it's 10-0. No, it's they wiped that off the board. It's not a try. I noticed they didn't have the conversion, so it's still 5-0. 3:25 left in the first half. I'm not exactly sure what the violation might have been, but wiped down off the board. Certainly no conversion there, and they put 10 up on the board, but it's back to 5-0 first half here in the second match. Olivia Strong is in, number 9, who was one of the seniors. I know she didn't get the starting nod at the beginning of the first matchup. So it's 5-0 Castleton here in the second match, or the second set, or the second game, whatever you want to call it. The entire action 2 out of 3 is the entire sets, I guess, is the match or the game. Or the overall game, individual games, and the entire match, whatever the correct phrasing might be. And it's the Spartans that control here. Pamela McCullough seeing action out of Rutland, Vermont, number 6 for Castleton. And this advanced by the Spartans for a try. $10-0. That might be McCullough. This is a long conversion attempt from the far side. Tough angle. It's no good. We'll wait for the official announcement there, but it's 10-0 with 1:09 to go in the first half of the second game. It's Sadie St. Andrews. I beg your pardon. St. Andrews took it in. Tough to tell from here on the far side. Sadie St. Andrews. 10-0 again. The conversion no good. 48 seconds on the clock here at the field left here in the first half of the second set. Yeah, Sadie St. Andrews from Ticonderoga, New York, a junior, taking it in. Spartans controlling. And again, number 6 is McCullough. Number 3 is done. Again, unofficial time of the clock here at the stadium is down to 0, but again, the official time kept on the field itself. Spartans control. And a lot of space there, and looks like a senior picking up the try there. Olivia Strong. And it's 15-0. Olivia Strong, a senior, taking it in for the try. Here's the conversion attempt from Conway. And it's going to be wide of the upright. So Tentlow, St. Andrews, and Strong all with tries here as the Spartans lead 15-0 at halftime now. As the time officially runs out at halftime of set number 2. The Spartans took set number 1, 34-0. So the second half coming up in set number 2 in about a minute and 45 seconds from now. Kicking off here. And we are underway in the second half of the second set. Castleton won the first set. And leading in this one as we go to the second half, leading 15-0. And the Spartans with it. And space down the near side. Here's Manhattanville with the possession. Let's see if that was Kupis getting up here. Getting up a little bit slowly and seems to be okay. Let's see. No, that was Tetlow. Scrum, and taking it in here across the goal line for a try. Looks like Caitlin Dunn. Who started it and got possession herself and took it in. And it's 20-0 Castleton early going second half of the second set. Caitlin Dunn, a freshman from West Hampton, Massachusetts. Took it along the near side, rolled it through everybody, picked it up on the other side, and took it in across the goal line for the try. And Castleton now has a 20-0 lead, and the conversion, no good. 20-0, under 4 minutes to go here in the game. The second set. Throw in for Manhattanville and the lift, but it's tipped away and picked out of there by the Spartans here. Spartans looking for more, leading 20-0 in the second half of the second set with unofficially 3:08 to go in the matchup. Number 14 for Manhattanville, again, is Casey Melito on the restart. Scrum this time as she picks it up herself, as was the case for the Spartan try with Caitlin Dunn. Number 11 in for Castleton, Whitney Hoff. They're out of Anchorage, Alaska, freshman. This time controlled by the Spartans and space. And another going all the way for a try, and that is Conway. Haley Conway. And here's the try for the conversion, and it's good. Conway getting the try and the conversion. It's 27-0. That's the first conversion the Spartans have been able to come up with here in the second set. Conway. A lot of speed on this Castleton team. Conway had a lot of space and took it in for the try. And the Spartans have a 27-0 lead. Unofficially 50 seconds left here in the second set. Castleton won the first set 34-0. Manhattanville averages under 10 points a game here, so as we have a Manhattanville injury and injured player appears to be Sokna Gay. And, she is sitting up. Unofficially 28.9 seconds left in the second set with Castleton up 27-0. As player appears to be okay, which is certainly good news. Tetlow, St. Andrews, Strong, Dunn, and Conway, all with tries here in the second set, and Conway also with a conversion. Final 9 seconds of the second set unofficially. And the Spartans again have space. And this is Kupis taking it across the goal line for another try. Kupis. It should make it 32-0. And here comes the conversion attempt. Kupis. And it's no good, but that's it. That's the end of the second set. The Spartans win it by a score of 32-0. So the two sets, 34-0 and 32-0, and the Spartans win the match 2-0. As Kupis picking up the try there again here in the second set. 32-0, and again, it was Tetlow, St. Andrews, Strong, Dunn, Conway, and Kupis with tries. And a conversion by Conway to make it 32-0. Kupis also in the first set had 4 tries. Conway had 1, Tetlow 1. So Conway and Tetlow had 2 in the entire matchup today. And Conway and Kupis also had conversions in the first set. And again, the two final scores, 34-0 and 32-0. And the Spartans win the match 2-0. The entire match, the two sets, again, won by the Spartans. 2-0 victory. And overall now, the Spartans move to 4-2 on the year. The Valiants fall to 1-4 on the year. The two teams will meet again a week from today to wrap up the regular season. Thanks, everybody, for joining us here today from Dave Walk Stadium at Castleton University. Rugby action. You've been watching Little East TV. For Jackson, Addy, I'm Jack Keeley, wishing you all a very pleasant good evening. The final score again, Castleton 2 and Manhattanville 0 in college rugby action. So long, everybody, from Dave Walk Stadium at Castleton University. You've been watching Little East TV.